when you're a Tennessee fan, you're used to stuff happening like it did in the BYU game. You have 26 seconds left. BYU has a third down, missed assignment, missed tackle, but after that they kick the field goal. That field goal is less than an inch from being out, but then it magically goes in because it's against Tennessee. You don't believe what I'm saying? Watch my video I just added before this one. This video shows you tons of instances where Tennessee is leading or they are about to lead. They have the game won, but magically God shows he hates Tennessee and Tennessee just happens to lose. I'm saying that as a joke, by the way. I don't literally mean that. I don't think God cares about football. I think God's worrying about other things, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? So this always happens to Tennessee. I'm used to this by now. Take away, Garantano can't throw. It's crazy, though, because there was literally one play in that game where he throws the ball and he shoves it into Callaway's chest. And then Callaway adjusts himself to get the ball, and then he gets tackled right there. My dad was like, this is the weirdest pass I've ever seen. It hits him right on the chest, and he falls. Because Callaway needs the ball in the open field. He is agile, but he's not very good at breaking tackles. As you saw on that third down, whenever he had the ball and he was a yard short, Tennessee went for it, they didn't get it. There were two awesome catches by Jennings, but Garantano did not throw the ball very well. On that first touchdown pass, he throws it in the air. The defender jumps up, tips it. Jennings makes the adjustment and catches the ball. Jennings has some of the best hands I've ever seen at the University of Tennessee. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the Hail Mary against Georgia in 2016, where he jumps up and grabs it, throws the ball on his chest. Jennings is an amazing player. He really is. I'm glad that Pruitt decided to reinstate him back on the team. But even that throw in overtime, Garantano throws the ball late, but Jennings adjusts himself again and makes an amazing catch. I mean, honestly, Jennings and Callaway are two of the best wide receivers in the SEC. They might be the best duo in the SEC. They're both definitely going to play in the NFL. But dumbass Garantano can't throw the ball. Something that he did a lot, though, and McElroy, the color commentator, who I think does a terrific job, pointed this out. There were plenty of plays where Garantano threw the ball short instead of throwing the ball to an open receiver. But I've never seen a quarterback throw the ball in coverage. Literally, Garantano throws the ball to the defenders, and so the wide receiver, tight end, whoever is trying to catch the ball, has to knock the ball away from the defenders. There's a play where Dominic Woods-Anderson has to knock the ball down because Garantano throws the ball to the defenders. I've never seen that in my life. But something Garantano is famous for is on 3rd down and 11, throwing the ball 3 yards. And Pruitt shoot his ass out. That play where Pruitt grabs Garantano and starts yelling at him. I mean, Pruitt had passion. Pruitt coached his ass off. But there was that 3rd and 11 in overtime where Garantano throws the ball behind the line to Gray. Gray catches the ball and then he's tackled. I mean, I hope Jim Chaney, who we heard all season was an offensive genius, I hope that was not the call from Jim Chaney. I hope it wasn't. That play on 3rd and 11 and then you settle for the field goal, then you lose because BYU bitch slaps your ass to the end zone. But I mean, honestly, think about it. You throw the ball on 3rd and 11 to Eric Gray behind the line. I mean, Garantano has been playing football for 3 years. Actually, he graduated, so Garantano, His only job is to play football, and he can't play football. Ever since that hit he took against Missouri, he's not been the same. And it's nothing personal against the kid. He's probably a nice kid. I'm nothing against him personally. I heard he's a good student. He's smart, and he's tough. He can take hits. But he does not have any field vision. He does not know where to throw the ball. And he throws the ball into double coverage constantly. He could have had 3 interceptions in this game. But speaking of Gray is going to be a hell of a player. Eric Gray is awesome. He has great agility, great speed. If you watch the way he runs with the ball, you can tell he is a natural athlete. He kind of reminds me of Alvin Kamara, the way he runs with the ball. Eric Gray is going to be something special, definitely, in the future. But there's another play, and I don't mean to keep whipping on Garantano, but if it wasn't for him, Tennessee would have won the game by at least 10 points, maybe even 13, maybe even more. But there's a play where Palmer slides on the ground to catch the ball, and he falls out of bounds, barely getting his toe down. They had to review it, but Palmer literally has to slide. He looks like a damn gymnastic aerobic champion, how he slides out to catch that ball and falls on his ass. But the reason I'm saying that Tennessee would have won by at least 10 if they had a decent quarterback was they had 235 yards rushing, and they averaged 4 yards a carry. So you would think if you had that many yards rushing, Eric Gray had, 80 or 90, and Ty Chandler, good player, he's going to be in the NFL as well. He had over 100 yards rushing. He had a good game. But speaking defensively, because I'm done with Garantano, there's nothing more you can say. What was interesting was BYU did not play that option that was so effective against Tennessee in the first game. Georgia State played the option where they would literally get 7 yards a carry. They averaged 7 yards a carry. So on first down, they were getting 7 yards a carry. That's insane. But for some reason, Wilson, they tried to make him a pocket passer. And last year in the bowl game, he was perfect passing. And I mean perfect. He literally did not miss a pass. But here's the thing. Normally, you want to play to the opponent's weaknesses and your strength. I mean, if BYU would have ran that option, they could have been a lot more effective. But I'm not the coach. What do I know? We got beat by the damn Mormons is all I know. And of course, Alton Taylor, I think is his name, was 5 yards off Simon, and he catches that ball. But then Warrior, who's been on the team, it seems like 15 seasons, he literally misses that tackle, which puts them in field goal range. Missed assignments, basic shit like that. I mean, Taylor's just a sophomore. It's still unexcusable because he didn't know how to line up. But Nigel Warrior is a damn senior. You think after playing football for 15 years, he would know how to make an open field tackle. But a positive note is Toto is going to be a beast. He's a freshman, but he made some awesome plays. Can you imagine when the game slows down for him? You know, in the beginning, when you're a freshman, you're learning the speed of the game, where to line up, and you're thinking. But once you learn how the game works, you really adjust to the game, and it slows down. Can you imagine him? He's going to be an all-SEC linebacker and a top pick. Darrell Taylor had a hell of a game. He had some good hits. Heck, even Bumpus and even that kid, what's his name, Solomon from Michigan, even had some good plays, some good sacks. I mean, they got pressure on the quarterback. The D-line did not play as bad as they did against Georgia State. But something that was really promising is Pruitt's players actually look like they can play. Eric Gray, Toto, the freshman offensive line, they look like they can actually play. I think if we would have had maybe 3 or 4 more of Pruitt's guys, we would have won that game. And so I think we need to keep Pruitt and let him get his recruits in, because his recruits look like they're going to play pretty well. I mean, Butch Jones players are used to losing. They're not used to winning. So Nigel Warrior, Garantano, all those other players, they're not used to winning. They're used to losing. So the culture is a losing culture. But if anything, I mean, who the hell else are we going to fire? You can't keep firing coaches and bringing in other coaches. And all these people saying fire Pruitt. Who you going to get? Philip Fulmer's too damn old to come back to coach. Urban Meyer's not coming here. Who you going to get? Keep Pruitt. Rebuild. If we suck for 5 more years, so what? At least we're not having to pay a buyout and hire another coach and have to redo all the recruiting and everything. This is Tennessee's first 0-2 season since 1988. And actually in 1988, they started 0-6. What's crazy, though, is they ended up being 11-1 in the 89 season. But that's mainly because they had Webb, running backs Cobb and Webb. Chuck Webb is a beast. He has the rushing yards record for a game. He has the 2 highest rushing totals in Tennessee history. The first one came in the Cotton Bowl against Arkansas. He had over 200 yards rushing. The second game he had was against Ole Miss when they were ranked 12th. I like to call them Ole Piss as a joke. I don't hate them or nothing. It's just fun to poke fun at your SEC rivals. They're not good enough for me to even hate at this point. Just like Tennessee's not good enough for other teams to hate like they used to. But, I mean, Chuck Webb is a monster. If you ever get a chance, look him up. It's unfortunate he tore his muscle and he was never the same after that when he went to the NFL. But what I would do, honestly, since the season is 0-2 and it's already over, just start a new quarterback. I mean, why would you keep Garantano in? I mean, he is already been starting for 3 seasons. You already know what you have with him. I get it in the beginning. If you were going to make a bowl game this year, you wanted the most experienced player. I get that. But at the same time, what are you going to do now? Because you're not going to make a bowl game. You got to make up those 2 wins. Where are you going to make them up? You're not beating Georgia. You're not beating Alabama. Maybe if you play perfectly, since Bentley's out for the season, and poor kid, I feel for him. Because at the end of the day, they're just kids. You know, I don't want anybody to miss the entire season. But Bentley is out for the season for South Carolina, so maybe they scan by and beat South Carolina. But South Carolina put up 72 points on the Southern Baptist College, Southern Charleston, the Baptist boys. I guess the Baptist boys can't tackle, but the Mormon boys can. Maybe Kentucky, now that their quarterback is out for the season. But why would you keep Garantano as the starter? What are you trying to accomplish by keeping Garantano in? Because he's not going to get any better. People say, well, he's the best we have in practice. Well, when Joshua Dobbs was the quarterback, he did not look good in practice at all. But when he got into the game under the lights, he's a gamer. Some guys can't practice worth a shit, but when you put them in the game, they're a gamer. They're a leader. You know, Garantano's not a leader. I don't mean to keep whipping him, but I'm just being honest. Nothing personal to the kid. He just can't play football. And that's what I'm talking about, is football. But he's not a leader. If you look at him in the huddle, he doesn't lead, and his body language is terrible. But Joshua Dobbs was a third-string quarterback, and then because of injuries, he ended up starting against Alabama, played pretty damn good, and the rest is history. Some guys can't practice very well. And what's interesting I've noticed is Alabama really struggles with running quarterbacks. I mean, Joshua Dobbs was able to make some plays against Alabama in his first start. They were losing to UT Chattanooga because at halftime last year, I remember, because UT Chattanooga was running with their quarterback. Alabama struggles against that. If you can get a quarterback in there who knows how to run, Alabama's defense is susceptible if your quarterback can run. Now, everybody has a different way of coping with this loss. Some people, they're going to quit watching altogether. Other people, they're going to go to the games and still support this team. Here's what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm always going to be a Vol fan for life. My great-great-grandfather played for Neyland as a freshman. He ended up transferring to the midshipmen in Maryville College, but he played, and I actually had his playbook. His nickname was Pug. I had a playbook, official Tennessee old playbook. My dad's dad, my great-grandfather, actually helped build that torch on campus. You know, the torch that never goes out. I forget what they call it, never-ending torch, whatever they call it, but he actually helped build that torch. The guy holding the torch bearer. And he was a security guard at the game, so my dad got to see the Ernie and Bernie show. He got to see some of the football games, and my dad said there was a game where Alabama beat Tennessee and they weren't supposed to. Now, during that time, they didn't have nets on the field. Well, a fan threw a beer at Bear Bryant. My grandpa turned around because he was a police officer, and he broke it with his cane in the air, and then Bear Bryant shook his hand after that. That's what my dad told me. But my grandpa would go to the games. It's in my blood. I can't give it up. But I don't want to take a day off work, drive the hour it takes. I live about an hour from the stadium. Drive the hour there it takes. Pay $20 for parking. Pay $13 for a beer because, hell, you're going to need a beer if you're watching this damn team play. Spend all that time going up there just to watch us lose.